My name is Aisha Mahmoud.
I'm Amina Aminu from Bangladesh.
My name is Akib John Usaidi from Abuja.
Very lovely.
My name is Najib San from Abuja.
My name is Anas Kulu from Borno.
My name is Yusuf Mohammed from Tanzania.
My name is Muhammad Ali from Kano. I'm James Gomandi from Liverpool.
I'm Abakar Oshidi from Abuja.
My name is Sayyid Suleiman from Baltistan Azad. My name is Jubilee from the Real States. My name is Louis Ibrahim Yusuf from Delaware State. My name is February from Delaware State. My name is Yawan Ibrahim from the US State.
You know.
My name is Clement Adjumon from Delaware State.
My name is Mohammed Ali Mulim and I'm from Borno State.
My name is Muhammad Niyar from Kano, but based in Abuja.
My name is Nassau Osman from Bangladesh.
My name is Hassan Abala from Malpan here.
My name is Aisha Rabi, chairperson and the founder of Malpai Foundation. The genesis of this our sitting today, we're going to discuss with them. We want to understand, we want to see the world through the eyes of the youth. The beginning of this thing, we're starting to learn from the children, from the youth, different things, and we want to see their objectives and their talents, and we want them to teach us because they are our leaders. We want to learn from them. Thank you very much. Please agree.
The first topic for discussion is about gender-based violence. Maganar da za mu fara yi tattaunawa, kowa ya faɗi ra'ayin shi akan yadda kuke ganin menene yake jawowa mazaje suke dukan mata, ko kuma wani laifi ne mata suke musu da suke musu waɗannan ababen, wannan irin duke-duken da yake faruwa a duniyan yau. Shine muke so mu ji ra'ayin.
You can either speak in Hausa or in English, whichever one you are very comfortable with.
I'd like to start on the conversation gender-based violence. I would like by starting by stating that personally for me, I don't believe that there is any reason in a relationship or in a dealing between a man and a woman where it should lead to physical abuse, either on the side of the man or on the side of the woman. Having said that, there are causes, things that lead to this violence. It can be different reasons. For example, you can be in an abusive relationship with a toxic person without even realizing it.
Yeah.
So it gets to a point where you are aggravated, you get pushed by your partner to a point of retaliation, especially at the side of the man. So, because the moment you talk about gender-based violence, it's just as if men attacking women, or it's a one-sided thing. But in most cases, it differs because a woman can instigate these things. You have violent women that come after their man, hit them, and sometimes, no matter how you try, it gets to a point where you might retaliate one way or the other. And the thing is, we need more awareness on that because it's unfair, I would say, because wherever in the world you have a situation between a man and a woman and it gets violent, automatically there's this sentiment behind the woman, and it guides her and puts you in an uncomfortable position. So other reasons might be trauma, for example, while a child is coming up. So you might have abusive parents that beat the child, abuse the child, and whenever there's a problem between him or another person, not only a woman, he thinks automatically to react violent. So we need more awareness. We need people to understand that violence is not a way out in any type of situation. You try dialogue first. If not, especially in a relationship, I would always advise walk away from things and revisit it later with a calmer head. So that is my thoughts on gender violence and how to prevent it, basically.
Who wants to say something? Okay. Go ahead.
You know, speaking also.
Go ahead.
So
You have to speak up.
the abin da suke yake faruwa na maza suke biyu kan mata. Ni ya sha faruwa kusan adadin. Yayin da na wuce zuwa masifa wasu kisi sai kin kare kai ba dai kike. Idan kika kare wannan sai ya dauko jiya makin marka. In kika kare wannan sai ya dauko jiya makin marka. Shi ke nan dai komai na yi masifa sai an yi masifa sai su ya bashi. Daga nan da sai ya fara masifa shi ma sai ki ba za ki iya jura. Lokacin da aka mana aure za a ce ku yi haƙuri shi ne matakin nasara amma ba a yi. Wallahi mutum ɗaya baya ba. In ya zo ya fara masifa sai ko kuka rabu da shi ya ba mu masifa. Wani a kan ka gani abinci ne da ya yi ba. Na ban ajiye maka murta ba ruwan kare wanda ba maka ba lokacin da kashe kana so ka yi haƙuri. Amma a lokacin da yake masifa kamata ya bashe kan wani masifa domin sai an ɓata maka da yake masifa mutum shi kaɗai ba masifa. In ya gama ne sai ki ba shi haƙuri wanda ya wuce. Amma in dai za ki ce wani sai kin ce wa zai yi ba ko sai ya yi masifa. Daga baya za ki yi masa ba da shi ma zai yi sai in ya auro ki a kasa na kike dole zan tuna ki. Sai duka yara suna gani za su yi ƙarfi ka aiki a mata da jere su ma ka ga kama musu ka kasa hankuri su ma za su yi su kasa hankuri su ma za a yi su wayancan su ma ɗayan su sun aifa su ma za a yi su
Gado ke.
duka na yi abin yana tafiya shi ne ke da haɗuwa amma da na farko sun yi haƙuri sai dai mu yanzu mu yi haƙuri akan wannan abu mun an yi ne an yi ne to a yi haƙuri da wuce amma in dai ba za ka ce ka yi ne ka yi ne to ba za a sake taɓa samun masana kullum abin da aka ɗauka wai babba ba yi
Tambayar da zan maka da ɗaya shi ne, shin me yasa Nuri zai yana da matsala ko ya shigo gida da matsala me ya kawo faɗa a ciki? Me yasa ba zai iya tunkarin iyalinsa da magana da yadda zai mata magana yadda za ta yi understand shi me yasa zai shigo da faɗa da har ita ma za ta yi fushi ta retaliate da an samu shi da faɗa? Me yasa ke ganin haka ne?
wannan yana faruwa ne ta zargiyar da rubin kowa akwai yanayin behavior nasa wani idan ya zo ya gani abu ne laifi wallahi ba zai mana amma wani kuma duk karanta sa sai ya mana kowa kuma halayyarsa da akwai prince mutane da wani za ka iya masa education wani wanda ya siya ko bare amma idan aka ce kin gane da masu bare idan kika kiyaye nuna tunanin da wuce to ba a kiyaye wani shi ne yake jin wahalar da masu bare wani kuma kuɗe shaki ko da yana da hakuri zo a mara gobe a mai shi ba a mai da ka wani sai ya ɗauki mai amma ne tashi ɗaukar mataki da zai shi sai farko ya ma wanda yake masu bare da bare kowa akwai yanayin da ya fi sosai.
Next.
Okay. I want to ask a question from what you said.
Yeah.
You said sometimes it's best you take a walk, you walk out. Okay, I've seen situations where you are infuriated by the wife. You're trying not to turn it into an altercation. And then you say, okay, let me just go out. And then you see her come and slam the door. Say you go in. Do you understand? And then maybe you are able to overpower her. Maybe you push her aside and you go out. You're going to your car, she comes again. Sometimes if care is not taken, she gets violent. And then there is a saying that if you push a goat, even, or a ram to the wall, they might bite. Do you understand? So just like this, my brother said, one person does not don't engage in battle. Do you understand? So I think on that area, I want to ask you to give me an answer before I say what I want to say. Okay. In such situation, as a man, what do? Do you keep holding your cool? Sometimes you are even you get it along the line. Sometimes some people get their car glass smashed. Yeah. Do you understand? Some people get violent to the extent your television, you see it facing ground, smashed and shattered. So I want to have your, before I proceed with what I want to say. So I want to have your.
Yeah, in response to your question,
yes.
Like I said when I started, you get to a point that it's as if that reaction is being invited, like they are asking for it. But you have to put at the back of your mind, even at the beginning, number one, the person you are dealing with is your partner, that is your wife, probably the mother of your kids. So there is obviously, as a human being, a level of pressure you can take. You will be pushed to a certain extent where obviously a reaction must come out of you. Probably, like you said, if you're trying to go out of the house and she keeps trying to keep you inside, slam the door and whatnot, make sure you would always have to, in that situation, till it's sorted, or you get counseling, or there's some sort of intervention between you. Up to that point, you have to opt for a peaceful option. That is probably keep staying away from the door until you get the opportunity to go. Because that reaction might be innocent from you because you're just trying to walk away from the situation. But like I said, you're already not being favored. The moment you react as a man towards a woman, it is over for you. I'm sorry to say.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
That's what we are saying.
Yes, I understand what you're trying to say. So, bearing that in mind, you just have to keep opting for that safe option, because that reaction might lead to something big. You're physically stronger, built in a different way, and your reaction might lead to an injury that she can never recover from. So you have to keep that in mind, that she doesn't match your strength physically to begin with.
Yes.
Yes.
That being said,
Yeah.
I think the one other area that we are not touching is it is the family that begets this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think in those days when I was younger, by the grace of, I was fortunate to be among the last crops, the good last crops. But then we would have our older parents sit us down and talk to us. They tell you as a man, this is how you should behave, and they tell you as a lady, this is how you should behave. But I think that we are lacking that in the society right now. The release of mantle from the elderly ones to the younger ones is no longer there.
Yeah.
These younger ones train themselves the way they want. They keep to themselves in their home. When they are angry with you, they get to their home. And these characters will be exhibited in their marriages. So the man comes home and sees the house the way he left it untidy. Sometimes you talk. Yeah. Do you understand? It doesn't start with violence. It is when you are undermined in your home, and then you start. There is no reasonable human being that will opt for violence. But the truth is, I think parents should do more. Do you understand? I know there is a saying that you can only bet a child, you cannot bet their character.
Yes.
But even at that, you still should instill in these children. You are going to the marriage, this man is not, you are not equal. Because if I know you are not my equal, you are a bigger person than me, I cannot come and jack you.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like you said, in recent terms, unfortunately, parents even encourage this. A child will come home and tell their parent, we had a problem. I've seen this. We've had a problem with my husband, and he got angry. And the mom would say, something like that. Instigating that, yes. The wife reacts in that manner. I believe, like you said, if we were taught and we learned from what our parents said,
yes,
wholeheartedly,
yes,
both on the side of the
male and the female, yes,
you know to respect your husband, yes, you know to give your wife her rights, and also respect her as a human being. And anything aside from, you will not maltreat a human being. It will be a peaceful coexistence.
Yes.
But then somebody has to negate that for it to reach.
We need to go back to the drawing board,
Which
to
is
the basis.
okay.
This whole thing starts from ground, from down. You want to raise a patriotic a society, youth. You must start from it starts from the family. Right now, a lot of parents leave their duty to schools, to teachers. Do you understand? So we need to go back to the basics. That's what I will tell you. So if we're able to handle, yes, to the family, to the parents. So in those days, woman will say, if I go, they don't want to do something that will take them to their father's house.
Yeah.
But now it's like,
They don't care.
I still have my apartment is waiting for me in my father's house. Nobody wants to try anything again. Nobody wants to try the side of peace. Now, before you speak one, you receive 10. Sometimes they even attack you first.
Yeah.
Sometimes they attack you first. It is only when a man does 1 out of 10 that is when it is heard. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is when it is said, and that's why even to the men, divorce is always the man's fault. Are you getting me? It's the one that is not doing it right. We can take some of this, but the most difficult side that pressure people into violence. It is when we forget as parents to inculcate in these children that you should respect this man. If you have serious issues, you as a woman, walk away, go to your father's house, and then he will come and know why you left. Instead of jacking and doing all sorts, sometimes you lose your cool. Even as a man, maybe you don't want to get all physical, but by the time you are pushed, you just see yourself reacting.
Yeah.
That's basically what I want to put here, that we should go back to the basis. Let's go back and have it. So we are not Western.
But those,
We are Africans.
but those women that jack men, they're just 30% or 25% out of.
No, but we don't know who made the statistics. No, we don't know who made the statistics. We can even 90%. No, I'm not saying. I think how do we measure how do we do the measurement?
I agree with you. I don't think the statistics balance. Why? Because even if the violent reaction normally is more in the character of a man.
Yeah.
Like you will find some women that are violent or they act violent. But if you get in an altercation starts here,
Yes.
1 or 2 and blow will be thrown.
Sometimes they say violence that women are being abused most of the time, right? But sometimes it's not the women being abused, it's the men being abused. I agree on that as well, because there are some men that you see, it's a very shameful thing for a man to come out and say that I'm being abused at my house.
Yes.
My wife is beating me. This whole society will laugh at that.
That's already happening now.
That's like
Already happening.
That's the truth. So, you are not man enough for what? How can your wife beat you? There are some women that are mentally imbalanced. They are mentally imbalanced. They have we have pus in their head. There's every person, ever a man or a woman, we all snap. At a given time, we snap. We lose control, both sides. So when we're talking about this, either you blame the man or you blame the woman. How can we solve the problems? That's the main issue of gender violence. And I will want to hear it more, not you. I will want to hear
What I already said. Let's go back to the basis.
Yeah.
It starts from there.
but that
You can't teach an adult how to be level. I'm using right now. For you to start teaching me how to be level, you have to tie this one permanently.
Uncle Tom,
Uncle John,
wait.
back to the basics.
Wait, that back to the basis.
Yes.
That one you're saying go to back to the
Yes,
basics.
yes.
Is that basis where the parent will sit the boys down? You are a boy. Don't allow any woman to undermine your intelligence. Don't allow him to fight you.
Pushing that. As a mother, exactly. As a mother, instead of
No,
I don't want to hear from the old cargos to talk. I want to hear from the youth. I want to hear them because you see,
One issue on the
That's why it's
basic that you said
you were saying back to the tradition. But Ma, you are here.
We are not Westerners.
Ma, you are here. I believe in 100 years time, in 50 years, in 30 years time, when we are married, we are all polygamous. You stay in your father's house.
No, my father was not polygamous.
But majority 90%.
So what we know from the law, from Iowa, when we are married as a young, you are in your father's house. Even the wife will be in that house. They will mentor you for like 2 years, even 3 years. Because let me give you my example. The issue you see all this violence is about poverty. A lot of it is poverty.
No, not really. I disagree.
Okay, ma, but let's
disagree because
the bottom line is not number. Okay, now the statistic. Look at the violence, the domestic violence that we have now. 70% to 60% of the newly wedded marriage fail at the end of 2 years. So why?
not even 2 years.
So why? Because we like that traditional mentorship method. Before you get married, you are in your father's house, they will mentor you on how to take care of your family. You know, okay, you come, we don't have money, we say, wow, the problem will start. Maybe you go out, you don't even get
I
that.
don't believe
So
you see, I disagree with that poverty because in a lot of the rich houses,
Yes.
they beat up each other. More than it's more than privilege.
okay, ma,
Mommy, I forgot.
But the thing is,
It's not just about money.
but the issue, okay, let's take back the training. We like that training.
we want to.
That training to take care of your wife or family. Most of those Maoris, they're up to that level.
In those days, the women of those days, and they are still remaining now. Yes, they are not gone, they are still remaining. These are our mothers here, they are mothers. So those days, they were models. They were ready to stay in marriage. Right now, a lot of women have one leg here, they have options.
Like there's something he wants to say.
Okay, please.
Allow them to talk.
No, why not? Okay, people have some
Say something. You want to say something. Yes.
So what this man is saying, the remedy to this problem is what we are going to look at. And I will talk from the other side of men. One, as a man, if you don't want to have a problem with your wife or with your son, try to provide.
Try to what?
Provide.
Okay. Be a provider.
Yes. Secondly, if you are a drunkard, I normally don't know every night, drunk. You don't expect your wife to respect you. No, at all. It's not done. When you are trained up every yes, it's not done. Even very respect. Any husband that is drunkard. For that, you need to work for nasty. These are the things you need to advance and sort it out. And for the other side, women also, there are some women that are dirty.
Yes.
Make sure they are dirty. When you try to correct them, they'll start sorting. Which is very bad. But for men, to me, I will advise men that you should try to avoid something that's not that will affect or that will affect your past. Like me, I don't insult ladies. I don't raise my hand on any girl I'm using. Very, very bad. And when you're a fair person, fair guy, when you're a jovial person, like it will be very difficult for you to have problem with your spouse. So there's a way to solve out the problem. Maybe I may have a problem with you now. Maybe you will settle, nobody will know else. Try to bring your anger down in the institution. And when you have a problem with anybody, with your spouse, I mean, if you don't control it, you mute. Instead of even walking out, if you keep quiet, just keep silent. The problem will die down. Later, if a woman, a rational woman, or a rational lady will come to you, I'm very sorry, if you know that you're wrong. And if you are a man and you know that you are wrong,
sorry, that five spelling of sorry, it's not hard. Please, I'm sorry. You write everything else. That's the best way to solve this problem.
You want to say something? Okay.
So at first, I wanted us to avoid this discussion until we have like a more like a setting where there's the youth, both male and female, both on the same room. But since we're talking about it, let me start. The fact that you said we should go back to the drawing board, it's not really going back to the drawing board. Like Islamically, there's this it's in the Quran. They say amongst his signs is that he created for you mates amongst you so that you can dwell in tranquility. So and he has put love and mercy in your heart. So you can use that to even reflect. Man and woman, they're actually supposed to help each other. Everyone has his own part to play. So usually, we can go back to patriarchy and power imbalance. So most societies have given the man power. So, and because of that, most of the men actually take advantage of that. And that leads to gender-based violence and they take control over the women, they command the women. And a lot of them, they can't really do anything. They can't go anywhere. And even if they try to leave the marriage, they will start telling them, oh, can't you see your friends? They are still not married. You are not fortunate to be married. So all those type of things are the causes of gender-based violence. So telling them and forcing society usually forces them to stay even in an abusive marriage. So I believe that the solutions to that is by promoting girl education, workshops, showing a girl that she has other ways of earning her own, a way to take care of herself without really depending on a man. Because usually our parents nowadays, even in Nigeria, they believe in girl education, even in the north. So, but at the same time, there's always that you need a man. You can't really do it on your own. You need a man to help you out. And so we just need to show the women that they can actually own their own businesses. They can actually be independent and they can they can actually be the ones to write their story. They don't really need a narrator for them. So that's my own perspective.
To add on to what you have said, the issue of training of a girl child, don't you think it should be intertwined? As you are training the girl child, you are also training the boy child.
Yeah, the reason why I said that is
why I'm saying that.
That's what I said.
Yeah, the power imbalance. No, you earlier on said, in as much as the men are abused and the ladies are abused, the men are also abused through emotional intelligence and emotional torture. So to avoid that, since you've brought a solution as in the training of a girl child, I think it should go hand in hand also to train the boy child. To make him understand that, look, if you are growing up seeing your mom or your dad beating your mom, that's not the norm. There should be a paradigm shift to that. Let the child, because a child, it's whatever he sees, it's just as if you're writing something on his stone that can never be erased. So to change the negative idea or the negative mindset of that boy child, he should also be trained that, look, despite you grow up in such an abusive society, that's not the norm, that's not the culture of how it should be. This is way and manner you need to take care of the girl child.
And I was also saying, were you talking about that? Because I saw you digressed on the area of and making women know their potentials. Nobody is disputing that. But I think the topic was this was the solution, because even if a woman has all her businesses, international and all that, that doesn't stop that violence. Just like Monu said here, that even rich people, the elites, sometimes they have these things happening in their houses. You probably won't hear because it's not in poor, face me, I face you, where people will be shouting. It's in a duplex where people won't hear. Do you understand? So you are talking about if they train the women very well and give them all the skills, all the power that they need. You understand? I think somehow I would say we're a bit digressing from the main topic, because this thing that you are talking about is what we discussed earlier, behind camera. What we are saying is how we can stop this. And I know what I said. It probably, if we want to go back to the basics, it probably will take like 20 years. Do you understand? To train new crop of individuals. You understand? But now, as much as we will need that, we also need how to solve the present situation.
That's what I said. I want to say something. Based on what you said initially, that when you have a dispute or see a quarrel with your spouse, you men are usually fond of saying, okay, I want to go out.
Yes.
Going out will not solve the problem. It will only aggravate it. Because the woman will have some intuitions in her mind, why is he walking out of me? You understand? Exactly. Okay, I have somebody, after all, you are making it very difficult for me because I'm going to see somebody. So why not you, the man, stay in the house? The best thing you can do, just like my colleague said, keep mute. Maybe you go back into your room, just stay. She will cool down.
But she can't come and give you something.
Exactly. But once you go and the first thing she do is to attack that thing.
You are not going
to go and snatch the key from you. You understand? Then secondly,
Carry nanny.
exactly. Secondly, when you said provision, most of our men, we do apology. We don't provide for our women. Sure. We don't allow them to work. Okay, you are not allowing me to go out and work. Then you are supposed to bring the things I need, the basic things I need. But they don't. And yet you come and make unnecessary demands here and there. So all those things can lead to that aggression. You understand? You bring out the other side of the woman that will make, and at the end of the day, you blame her again and you start beating her. So where will she put her head? You understand? So what you said, I agree with you, and I also agree with what my officer said. It's already there in the...
Something that variance.
Yes.
Between you and him, you understand?
Yes.
So before I move further, it's good for us to establish the facts. What we're talking about here.
Okay.
What is gender-based violence? Gender-based violence are violence directed to certain people. Like in Nigeria, what gender-based violence is women, you understand? So we're not talking about being over here, you understand? So we have factors that possibly gender-based violence, which she also available had to. The one is poverty.
That's what we're here to extend. So say
one is poverty. When the family is pushing poverty, it can lead to increase in marrying their young child to an elderly person. Probably they are looking for a way out of that poverty. Secondly, we have beliefs and then we have culture. So let me come back to when you say if I'm married man actually. So where I come from, when you get married, you'll be that will be transmitted for 6 months. So I wasn't told when you're having a problem with your wife, you keep me going, don't keep notes, you communicate. And we're giving books to read.
You don't understand me. Keeping mute is in the action. When you people are exchanging, after you can come down and dialogue. That's what I mean by keeping mute.
If you
that's the solution. That's what I meant by keeping mute.
There's a proper communication.
Yes.
In the family, that's in the first before you know.
It will leave.
You need to communicate.
It will leave.
I'm enjoying this.
Well, there's some
It will leave.
communication.
My own idea in all of this. First, I want to appreciate the platform for giving us the opportunity to share this.
Yeah.
Basically, picking up our idea, all of this has to do with religion, culture, social, and all of that, and even political and otherwise. It's controlling most of the things that are happening. So it makes it difficult to have single solution for it. I will tell you that some people, if they're even silent about what they are saying, it gets them more angry and they will never stop until you talk. And for some, when you talk, it's a problem. So there must be the meeting point. Since we are looking for solution, I think the first thing is about the orientation of the people.
Sure.
I can tell a guy of 15 years that will be a woman beater by the attitude of that guy, even at that 15 before marriage. Sure. So orientation comes to three. What do they believe? What is the average young person believe about beating another person? And we're saying, when I say political and the rest of them saying, well, this is a situation we have where there's no reward for doing the right thing. And the generation that we are right now is a generation that have forgotten the concept of right and wrong. It's the concept of trend and untrend.
Yeah.
So if what we are still talking about is the generation that believes that no, this is trending, A senator in the National Assembly, I don't want to mention, was seen abusing someone in the public. What happened? He didn't cease to become a senator. There was no suspension in the National Assembly for him for doing that. He doesn't stop him from taking his salary. It doesn't stop him from getting the SUV that's going to be given to him. This is to show that the political cycle has no regard or has no blame for anybody who's involved in that. In the church, we have pastors who engage in beating their wives, and they know, but he's not been suspected from sitting in the church or beating a wife. He's still the pastor in the church. And of course, it's happened in the mosque as well and the rest of that. So this first concept is what to be in the mind of the people. The child met his father and said, Dad, I want to be a musician. But I said, no, I want you to be an engineer. And he said, Dad, you're an engineer. You're in the Ministry of Works. You're a deputy director. But you have not changed your car in the last 4 years. He said, sir, I change their cars every month. So I don't want to be like you. I want to be richer than you. So this is an issue. The father is dumbfounded because there is no defense for it anymore. If it's about getting rich, which is what is popular in society, and which is only thing that guarantees you from being celebrated, then you can't stop the child from being rich. Because a man with integrity, who has never raised his hand on his wife, who has never stolen anybody's property, has not been given a place to sit. It's not respected, it's not noticed. And it is a social issue. Everybody wants to be rich. So coming back to us, the issue, what is the reward for a man who doesn't have a wife? That's the first question. So if we want to correct it, this has to be a major point. Research has to be done, and a template has to be put on ground. Let us, if we want to stop gender-based violence, we must stop it from those people who are the picture that people can see. And the senator who has gone to pay people, women should now gather in the National Assembly and say he must be suspended. He has done something wrong. And then the young person coming will be saying, so this thing is wrong. So even if you are doing it, they want to tell us, I say, please don't tell anyone. I don't, please, I'm not doing it again. But when you know, even if you call your mom and tell your dad, and the parents are seated and will say, he hit me. And the next thing the parents said, you must have done something before you can hit me. And then there's an issue. So you know that there's something that makes you qualify for being hit. So all of these are critical issues in the brain of young people. And I'm afraid that the generation we're having, just like I said, is a partners are trained. You have a to take care who have so physically, turn a man's clothes, push him, do everything, and then you went to an occasion, you are not noticed, but she's the one they invite to the front to say, oh, and then, so what is your reward? So when we're saying all of this, we must not forget the place of orientation, because for every example can be tested and failed. Even if you want to go out, what if you allow you to go out, you're not going back to the house. So even if you are seated and you are quiet and you don't talk, the fool says that, so you are saying silence is the best answer for a fool. So I'm the fool here. And then the issue keep coming. So first, it's about our orientation as people and our words of mouth. Some people, the way they talk, I can tell. You can tell the lady that when she gets married, you'll be hitting her back to back. Because her mouth is already telling you this is the person. So what to do to her? Sit her down. You can't survive with this type of life. And for guys too, you can't survive with this. A lot of young people, WHO has said that more than 40 million Nigerians are suffering from mental health problems. So people are not even in the right mindset. Poverty corrupted the mindset again. First, price is corrupting the mindset again. And then as you are struggling to repair your car in the mechanic house, somebody is telling you that you no longer have protein in the house. And you think that person is in the right senses? It's not. So when we talk about this situation, we must talk about this situation because this person is already mad. So whatever he does, he's doing it out of malice. So for us, society prohibits people beating the other gender. While sister versus gender is, we must not forget about that. And the other way, just that level. So I think we should set agenda. We should have a resolution after this conversation to take a serious action on this issue. So we'll not talk about it to make the next generation sit as something. Everybody will have been walking in the street. And people want it. But it's because it's not accepted in society. When people tell what's wrong with you? This one is man. That's why people don't go naked. So people wake up in the morning and what they wish to just walk out naked. So what we do and what we do to a large extent is control our life. Of course, like I mentioned, religion, ethnic, social, political. And if we can tell it at that level, I think we'll get a solution. This is just a solution.
Just to quickly add to the solution-based thing. When he was talking earlier, he spoke about power imbalance. So, like he said, he brought a verse in the Quran, things like that. Another solution is misinterpretation, information, especially. There's this power imbalance is a thing, yes, but how you understand it or how it's being explained to you leads to the way you react. So if, for example, especially more prevalent religious-based, like you said, the pastors, the malams, they are preaching to you, you are not the same with her, boosting your ego, and it leads to you feel the superiority is too much, you misunderstand it. Religion provides you your right as a man, but equally it does provide the right for a woman. You're supposed to respect, treat her properly, but when it's not being told, when it's not being explained to you, when the information is not passed rightly, you misunderstand it. And that leads to, it's a very big problem. Like even here, if I talk and you might get what I'm saying, but to misunderstand it, you would use the information in a bad way. So it's very important that how information is being passed is properly understood by the receiver of the information, so you don't act negatively or misunderstand the whole. I think that is part of the solution. So people that are preaching and educating and passing information on what did you call it again? Power imbalance. They need to put it in a way where you understand the limits, at the same time you understand what you're being about. That's another solution.
Yes, I agree with both of what you said. Information has to be passed on. People need to be taught. But the most important thing is, I think, you yourself. Everybody, as an individual, everybody knows right and wrong. You see water here and you see fire. You know that touching that fire is bad. You know that it's not good. And then you should also understand the kind of person that you're involved with. Like, I know now if I stand up and I hit him, he's the type of person that he must retaliate. But then there's somebody that if I hit, then you tell them sorry, they will calm down. So, like she said, like he brought up the point of when you are angry, you should mute, you should keep quiet. And then you said you'll be angry at that. Your silence is so I'm a fool. And then she was like, oh, you should leave. So everybody has their different ways of handling stuff and their different ways of exactly. So you should understand, communicate. Oh, I know if I shout at this person, they'll get angry. So I should know how I'll communicate. Oh, talk to them calmly. Oh, don't talk to them at this time when they're very angry. So you should also talk to yourself, know how you communicate, things like that.
Okay, we are not talking all about wives. It's not only wives that have violence.
Yeah.
You can talk about your friend. We can talk about our girlfriends, because the youths here are not saying anything. It's only like the mamas and the papas in the house. Yusuf, I want to hear something from you. Yeah, why? No, maybe you have seen or you have heard stories. You can tell us a story. It doesn't have to be a solution. Maybe you have seen someone being beaten or someone being a friend. This
We can make him talk.
Yeah.
What do you think is wrong for you to beat evil?
A girl.
A girl.
Or your friend.
That hurt you. Why do you think it's wrong? Or she's saying cheating on you, you want to beat her. You don't know why it's wrong, but why do you think it's right?
Yes.
Akan abin da bai yi ko abin da yi wani laifin mai da an tayar da za ka yi mutum mace ta fada aka yi ta yi ciwo. Amma ya kasance ya kan kasancewa cewa an ta buge na mace ta ma wani abu za ka yi shuru kan abin da wata aikata ba. Za ka yi fita kamar ka je kasuwa ka wani ka je aiki wani ka kama a waje za ka yi shigowa da kawai to kama fada ta kuma ita ma sai ta fara fada za ka yi huganta kuma da wani matsala.
What can a woman do to you that will warrant you to beat her? Is there anything like she taught your mother? What would provoke you to beat a woman? Be honest. What would provoke you to beat a woman?
abin da ya sa ji yarinya ko mace haka so haushin da yake cikin zuciya sun da ta zai mahaifiya na kuma mahaifiya.
Is that all? That would make you to beat her, to want to beat her?
Tsakanin da Allah ma za ka iya dukan ta kan za ka iya dukan mace. Tsakanin da
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to correct that. I'm not trying to put him on the spot. Now,
Can you one that's supposed to be on you, so nobody else is allowed? He's really not comfortable.
Yes.
But you're shy.
yes, no, I'm not picking. I just want to. I know.
So when you try to do
That's something that we can break into. That's why. Well, you okay? It was a what just now. I was putting in it.
Yusuf, what they're trying to say is, yanzu kai yanzu Yusuf, ko da mace ta zage ni, kamar yanzu misali a ce kayan aure, that goes to all of you, ku dukan ku nan. Kamar yanzu a ce kun yi aure, and then matar ta zo, akwai wani abu da muke da shi mata hali ne wanda yake it's very common that a lot of women do that. Sai ta zo ta ce, don uwa don ubanka because of your parents. What have you ever done to me? You have never done anything to me. And she'll be hitting you and be pushing you to the wall. Do you think you will raise your hand to beat her? All of you now, not only Yusuf, all of you.
Everybody. You said it's
No, let's be very honest.
Yes.
This is an open place. It's a safe place. Let's talk.
We want your
first reaction.
What would be your first reaction for a woman to hold your neck, to jack you, and hit you to the wall?
Will you remember your home training? Will you remember your home training?
When you remember, Rama za ka ita ci kwalan ka ta rinke ka ta jijjiga ka. Ta ce don uwa ka don ubanka ka sake ni ko kuma zan ci uwa ka zan ci ubanka ka min kaza ka min kaza me za ka yi?
Abin da ya ce ka yi. Misali karatu, in kun so ta gama abubuwan da za ta yi sai ka tsare ta sun kafa maybe ka karatu da zuwa kai zama ka da zaman to kawo wuce ko wani abu. In kana gida ne su kowane mataki ka so sai ka dawo, amma so ka tura ta gidan su. In ka gaya musu abubuwan da kake yi maka wanda ba ka so da irin yanayin zaman ku da yake kasancewa tare da kai da sai su same ta a wurin da kuma zuwa yake da matsala ko kai kai ka ga abubuwan da take yi maka wanda ba ka so ita ma ta ga abubuwan da take ba ka so su manyan da suka haɗa tsakanin za su ware waye mai gaskiya waye da gaskiya.
So, abin da yake faruwa, ni ya taɓa faruwa da ta. Ya zo shi sai kira ni sun zama kana kan shi ba ni da aure. Amma wata ƴan waɗanda ba ka iya sai aure sannan an sai. Sai kira ni sai yake ce min ba ta san yan uwansa. Amma haka kawai shi ba zai iya zama da matar da ba ta san yan uwansa. Sun yi ce ya kamata amma ka tambaya ka ce menene yake faruwa kafin ka yanke hukunci. Za shi a bukatar sai ce sakin ta zai ɗan su ɗaya a lokaci. Amma da na ce ka tara su ka ji kowa ne wannan yake wannan yake sai zo sai ya kira su sai ya tara su ne kun me kuke wani ai idan sun go suna mun kaza sai su dinga harana ta ne saboda ya auro ta suna ganin yana da kwata sai take ganin kamar yana hanawa ita mata ita take hanawa yana so na sai ya fara mata masifa dan me yasa ba ta sani ba domin suna zabewa su kai ne mutum shi kuma bai sani ba mazaunin da ya sai na ce ka tara su da ya tara su ya ji bakin tarwa da sauran jina magana da kusan yayan su ya fahimci kowa ne na matsala ya abin da yake ji wa irin wani abu rashin fahimtar juna amma za ka samu lokacin an kai shekara 20 ana da aure amma za ka ce wai na gaji wannan wanda aure ba ne na gaji kuma da mu zuwa yawan jarabawa ce na gaji ba zan iya ba duk abin da yake kullum sai an karo kina cewa ba ta yi na wato kun aikata shi ma idan yau ne shekarun zai ce yau amma ka sai ba gobe ma ni ma ba zan iya ba sai me biyo ba je ki biro ita ma ta tafi uwa domin ta gani abin kwata ta ce ta gani abin da ake mata shekara 20 ana zama babban matar da ta zo ta samu idan ta zauna a wannan gidan ƴaƴansu yake da yanzu suna ce yaro ɗan shekara 20 ta ce in ta zauna a gidan nan zai kashe ta ni ce sai da kuka yi shekara 20 ƴaƴansu tara yanzu ki koma gidan ku da ce wani wai kin gaji da abin da yake miki tun da kuke jin daɗi sai yanzu ki ce za ki koma ki yi haƙuri ki koma ki zauna zuwa gobe ga abin da Allah ya sani wallahi yanzu wannan magana shiga ya ba ta haƙuri da dangaren ki haƙuri na san abin da ya kamata ke fi idan kowa zai hau to ba za a samu matsala ɗan ɗaya hausa ɗaya ce amma ba haka ba kun ba zai taɓa kawo ƙarshe ba an dinga gwada hanyar sauri da
Who's next? Like I said, okay.
Wato abin da yake farko abin da yake janyo shi ke faruwa. Tun farko daga lokacin da ka fara ka ga yarinyar ka ce kana son maimakon ka je mata a yanayin yadda ka to sai mutum ya je mata a wajen ya je mata da karya. In ta tarbiye shi abin dubu ɗaya ne shi kuma kokari zai iya bata abin dubu. Daga lokacin da ta shiga cikin gidan shi sai ta ga wannan abin ya zo ya canza. Ba haka ba. Ita kuma ta ga abin ya canza za ta zamanto tana wasu da abubuwa da take nuna masa na ƙaunar shi da take duk za ta daina wannan abu. Daga lokacin da ta daina wannan abubuwan shi kuma zai fara tunanin to menene ya kama a can har lokacin da zai zo in ma ya gaya mata magana ta ce mai ƙarya kake ban yadda. Shi kuma in ta gaya mai wannan magana zai kama tun zai yi shi yana share ta ya zo yana mata tsawa ko yana zagin ta tana share shi. Har wani lokaci ya kai lokacin da za ta buɗe baki ta raba wannan zagin ya zai ba. Daga lokacin da ta buɗe wannan bakin ta zage shi na raini ya riga shi ta daina ganin shi da mutuncin da za ta kai ganin shi. Sai a zaman ko a ringa ta samun matsaloli matsalan yau daban na gobe daban ta zo ta samu ƙawarta ta gaya mata ta ce ga abubuwan da yake faruwa a cikin gidana ki wata shawara in ba ta samu ƙawa ta mutunci ba sai ta ziga ta ce ai in ya zo ki zage shi ko kuma koma mene ne saka ki daina.
Who else want to add something? Okay, and I'm not sure what he was trying to say is when you're dating a girl outside and you try to, when she asks you for something of 1,000, you give her 2,000, you go and find something of 3,000 and give it to the lady. And then when she's in your house, she will start asking and she will realize that you're just lying, you're just flexing, you're not being yourself when you're asking. And then that's when the disrespect will start. That's a lot from there. I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yes,
In a nutshell. And then he talks about, I think they talk about communication and also taking side from, like, one side should take one side in a marriage whereby the woman and the husband's family will have a problem. I think if my memory serves me right, to summarize it. Who else has something to add among them? No, I don't want you. I want that side. They're too quiet. Kaifa, kachiwa now. That's why the talk with you last hour. Chiwa now. Kaya na talong kunin ko kunin na ko kagani sa maayos sa
Sometimes kamar yadda ya ce mace za ta ce ina ban da kuma ɗaya ko kare gane mutum biyar ko yawa daga baya sai ta fahimci cewa ya abin fa ba haka bai yi so duka ɗin wani abu yana kawo matsala sai ga an zo an samu matsala ne sun samu matsala very boring daga cikin za a gane cewa dai abin karya ne ba ne ba za su karya
I just wonder this.
Let me out to them now first. Dukkan kullum gefen nan su zauna da shiru ko ka rufe baki. Yanzu kuna so faɗa ku ce ba ku taɓa ganin inda wani ya saɓa wa mace ba ya ci kwanan mace ko ya mari mace ko kuma ku ba ku taɓa tattalin ku ce za ku mari wata wani ba ku sani ba ku taɓa gani ko a makaranta kun zauna kun yi shiru ko a cikin malaman makaranta ko a gida ma ku ga ko wajen iyaye ku ga iyaye ko kai kanka ma ka ci zalin ƙanwarka duk za ku zauna ku yi shiru har da kai bai gajeren wando. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? Do you have any experience where somebody has attempted to violate a lady in your presence? Do you know? Have you ever seen it? Yeah. Are you supportive of it? What's your view? Say it.
They say it. You don't have to speak grammar English.
Even if not broken, let's speak broken. If today is like somebody that you know, your friend, she comes back say,
we make you vex. Even 105 the man will beat your sister. Because the why him beat your sister, you don't like her. You beat hell out of her.
You want to say something?
I think the question that Mami asked was, what warrants you to beat a woman?
Yes.
I think that's the first question. And to me, I don't think there's anything, that's my own question, anything that can warrant you to beat a woman. Because first of all, a woman is our mothers, our sisters. I don't want to even think of anyone hitting my sisters, not less of a man. So if you say that she will strangle you, start insulting your level, you said it yourself. That women, you have a way of doing things, over exaggerating things, drama. So whatever she does before getting married or start a relationship, please try to understand women. They have that phase that they go through. So if they are going through that phase, you need to know how to handle yourself. For example, right now, if she insults the guy out of you, disgraces you, even if it's in front of people, just think about it, that it can actually be your sister that is doing that to her husband. Would you want someone to slap, punch, or do anything to her? So that's my own perspective. And I feel like what leads to that is sometimes even us men are not perfect. We tend to do things that leads to that.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, you know the reason why she's doing that. And that's just between you. So you know how to control yourself. Either you keep mute or you walk out of the house.
Thank you very much. I like this, my brother. Wait. Don't let me use this my code. I want to respond to this, my brother, but I don't want you to. Okay, I should respond to it.
No, I want to respond to it.
Okay, and me too. I have something to do. But listen. Some of the most beautiful people in my life are women, but we will not be partial because we think. Then, if I'm not being truthful here, I'll be partial. And this place is not a place where we all come here to be politically correct. We should be here and be. Some people, let me tell you, some people are best people outside, but when you come to the house, I have a friend. Those is when we're growing. It's my good friend in the 90s. This guy, his father, if he comes to the house, he's a monster. But outside, sorry, I have to use that word. Outside, if you see the way he plays with children, you would think this man is an angel, but when he gets to the house. So I know those kind of people who are always politically correct, like want to look good outside. I want to, there's camera, let me say the right things. It's a lie, let's be honest. There are issues here. If you say there are no reasons for a man to beat a woman and men are still beating women, so what is that reason that is making them beat? Now, the reason that they are beating women is because we don't have laws that prohibit that. A friend of this man here said that no matter what, something.
To understand each other.
Yes. Even with that, if there is a law that if you do so thing, this is your punishment, there will be. And then this, my brother also said that when that senator did what he did, that we were supposed to see protest, women jostling on this thing, say that this man must be suspended or something like that. If there is a law, there is a system that addresses that. No woman needs to come from their house where they are taking care of their children and their husband because this man is going to come back hungry in the evening, and then you say let her man stay in national assembly. Wait, pause. I want to go back there. If we have a law, if the law states that this is what you did and there is evidence, and then they are coming to pick you to explain yourself what you have done, there is nobody that needs to come. People need to protest before they are going to discipline you. Do you understand? So now, you get me?
my brother, you see, there are things that instigate violence. There are things, if you are a boxer, you can box, or you are in judo. If there are fights that will come, you forget that training. Do you understand? Sometimes you can keep your cool as good as you want to, but there are certain levels that you know that this is your breaking point. This place you will react, and that is why sometimes a lot of people behind bars, they are full of regrets because they tell themselves, if only I exercise, keep my calm more, I wouldn't have been in this. If only I kept my calm, I wouldn't have been in this mess. So what sometimes I think the two solution is there should be laws. Number one, that's number one. Number two, you should work on your anger management.
Emotional
because you don't solve a permanent thing in a temporal. And there is something I read. I'm trying to remember that word. So you angrily do something, and at the end of the day, there are consequences that will last for the rest of your life. Do you understand? I lived in army barracks when I was growing up. There was a time, because if you fight there, they take you to the cell. If there is quarrel, fighting, you must go to the cell. So I don't know what happened in that time. It's okay. We went to Club Mango on this day. And that mango, we were not supposed to touch it. So they saw us. They said we are going to, and the mango is also close to the cell. They were young. I think we were there for like less than an hour. That 1 hour was like infinity. Do you know what it means to be locked in one place? And then you start thinking of a whole lot of things. So that is even a tip of the iceberg compared to what you are going to face. If by adventure you hit a woman and she goes down, you are going to prison for life. Okay. So we should think of all of these things. Yes. But then if there are rules, if there are laws guiding this thing.
Yeah, there should be a legislation.
Yes.
Okay. I could have responded, but due to time, I have, you talked about orientation, so we'll come back to it much later. So the next topic now, we are going to, Nigeria, or let's say China, Germany, they passed us through the Industrial Revolution, right? So,
well, yeah, you need to use the other one. Finish this one first.
They passed through the Industrial Revolution, and realizing that Nigeria, we have our youths, we have about 80% of the youths. So my question is, do you think technology is of utmost important than the industrialization, or the industrialization should come first before the technology? So, do you understand?
Okay, kamar yadda take magana yanzu duniya na ci gaba, kuma kamar yadda ku sani a duniya kusan matasa. Yake kuma kun san matasa kusan su ne kusan kusan 70 zuwa 80 na al'ummar duniya, musamman ma Najeriya na Kaduna. Sannan akwai canjin yanayi ko kamar muradun ƙarni na ci gaba, musamman ɓangaren masana'antu da kuma information technology kamar ICT da kusan yawan. So tana magana akwai rashin na samun aikin yi, akwai rashin na ci gaban kimiyyar zamani da sauransu. So industrialization shi wannan kamfanin da suke bunƙasa da kuma ICT wanne ya kamata a ce an fi fuskanta. Ina ga shi ifan faraja.
Mene fassara ICT a Hausa? What do you mean by industrialization?
Industrialization as in boosting the economy.
Okay. So that's
through the skills acquisition, entrepreneurship, like that is let's say
question. She has to repeat that mind. Yeah.
Pardon?
I want you to that one. Go ahead. You are explaining about it, so you don't.
Yes,
Industrial
no,
operations in
it is, yeah, so that, let's say for instance in China now,
Yes.
you'll find out that in primary school, nursery school, what they are after, the level of their teaching, it's more of, the curriculum is more of, how to grooming their skills, yes, how to make things technical, this thing, just to yes, to promote the economy. But you find out that Nigeria, just of recent, people are talking about technology. No, they give more attention to technology than the entrepreneurship, than the innovation and creativity.
Let me
So now,
let me give you, I don't know if that's what you mean. I remember before when we were in school, you learn, you have to learn a skill acquisition. It's either you learn how to cook, or you learn how to braid someone's hair, or you learn knitting. For the men, some of them. Yes, or you learn how to sew a cap. This kind of is wearing, or you learn how to sew clothes, or you learn for the men. You learn how farming was. Yeah, just a skill. When we look at the system now in schools, we don't have it. What do you think? Do you think if we have that kind of skills, it will help boost the economy, or it will help other people to have trade, even if they did not continue with schooling?
Sorry, please, before you start, I want to point out something very important. Industrialization in this conversation, we need to understand the meaning. When we say industrialization, it means when an economy turns into a manufacturing-based economy. Yeah. That is industrialization. So that we don't misunderstand it. Yeah. So you need to understand what we're talking about is, like in Nigeria now, there is no much drive towards manufacturing. We don't have anything locally made. So what she's trying to say is China is an industrialized economy. So if it's to be implemented in Nigeria, industrialization, turning into a manufacturing phase where people start producing most of our goods, opposed to technology, which comes first.
Okay, well, thank you. I think it's also what I've mentioned about skills and applied application of it. This is going to be my opinion about it, but we are sharing opinion. Because when we look at China and most of these countries that we're trying to look at what they do, most of these industries are being driven by technology. So you can't isolate it. And when you look at it itself, we will be at disadvantage if we at any point underplay technology and focus on any other, because the technology itself is driving the world. As we are here, many of us are dealing with one tech or the other. All of us, as anybody has said, maybe helpful or something. So getting to that level, I have difference when we talk about skills, because in Nigeria, what we call skills, not skill. And I'm talking from the background of a youth development expert. We are leaving it behind what we call skills that cannot bring anything to the table. Meaningful. We are afraid that when you have a lot of people coming out of tailoring industry, coming out of textile industry, very few of them can even sew the clothes that you can call, I like this. That's why when you go to tailor, you see all the clothes packed, and some tailors has nobody coming to them. Yeah. Technology is even being applied. Most of these clothes we are wearing are printed. They are no longer made. So what technology are we giving? First, Nigeria needs to first embrace technology, even when we want to give people skills. Because most of the skills we need, the job that people can do, AI will perform it, and will not do step people anymore. So moving forward, the technology itself is a basis for us to develop our industries. Everywhere, agriculture, medical, quality sector, security, technology is needed. And if you are not applying it and you are not introducing it, people will fast leave Nigeria to go. And that's even one of our major problems. When you still go to government offices, things are still being done manually. And whereas people already using other ways. So we wonder why other countries are moving forward and we are still here. A PAM secretary or a director or a minister don't come to office, the file is on the table, But in the other world, they already receive it on email and they have solved the problem even in their bathroom. They're not even interested in seeing a physical file. So technology, if that's a question, if I understand it, which is basically what it is, technology is in fact, it's more important because there is no skills without application of technology these days. So I think it's very critical for Nigeria for us to embrace it. And that's why we must applaud the MAPA Foundation for this tech center. And I'm concerned that and before that, you understand that if not for the effort of the foundation, the place is underused. Sure. The people are not seeing the advantage of it. But other times, this is where people go to bed with money. So please, I want these skills. Because you know, as you are getting employed, I don't see anybody that wants to apply to my company right now. And you are not tech savvy, or you don't have computer knowledge. I don't even see you as an applicant. That's the first thing, because that's the only way I want to start from. There's nothing we're doing here that makes you to come and do manual, whether you have done anything. So technology is as important, as the skills are more important to it.
Let me quickly, let's agree to disagree. I completely agree with you. Let me give you another point of view. Is faces, for example, there is a face in life. You have to go through one before you move to another. Yeah. China, for example, for me, the face, industrialization comes before technology. Why? Because that is the originating point, the starting point. You need to identify the skills, do it. Eventually, let me go on. Eventually, along the line, technology came into place. Industrialization was in place before technology.
That was tech.
Yes, the coming in of technology is to make industrialization easier. For example, like you said, the design and building, when the machines came in, before it was handcrafted, now there are machines that do it for you. So it makes it easier for you. So the initial phase is for you to move into the industrialization first before you implement technology to make things easier for you. Secondly, you have to look at things from the point of view that you are in. The access to technology is limited here in this side of the world. In Nigeria, you have a local government where have not seen electricity at all for years. So how do they start sending emails when you do not have access to things?
Using their phones.
When you are, some have it, some don't charge it. Last week I was in my local government. That's in Goza, no state. Believe me, there's no network. Let's start with network. There's no access to networks. So their phases, these countries went through these phases to reach where they are now. You cannot skip a phase. Yes, I understand and I agree with you. Technology makes things easier. It works, it makes it, but we cannot skip the industrialization phase and just begin at the technological phase. Because some people don't even have access, no knowledge. There's no even information pass. People don't even know how, even if these things are at their disposal, they don't know how to make use of it. So you have to, but industrialization, you don't need technology for that. Like you said, handcrafted skills. But that is the beginning of it. When that is developed properly, no, it is unfortunate. It is not where it has taken. What I'm saying, where you get it, the scripts are ready. For technology, if there was technology, China wouldn't have gone out there. So there is technology. Let me explain this. Let me continue. 1 minute. Let me answer him. Now that there's technology, yes, that's your question. Yes. For you to want to make your job easier, you need to be doing it first before the thought of how to make it easier comes in place. Technology, artificial intelligence. What I'm saying is, you have to start something. Now I am working to work. Yes. There are no cars. Eventually, the thought of how to make transportation easier comes in place. You need to start working, have an idea, a skill, then the technology comes in. This makes this job easier. So what I'm saying is, it is not that where has it taken us? We are short-charged.
Is that applicable to education as well? Is that applicable to education? So you think somebody should have skills before education?
No, that's not what I'm saying. So, no, I'm talking directly. I want to make a presentation, which is industrialization and technology. I agree with you. Technology makes everything easier. It makes work done faster, better. You can the product is better, but what I'm telling you is the initial phase, like I said, first is the industrialization, then the technology comes in.
Every industrialization has got technology. So what we need
What we need industrialization and technology, which came first?
No, let me land there. Let me land there. Mr. Mohammed, I think we are mixing something here. We are mixing something here. Industrialization and technology, they are like this.
Yeah.
And one thing is the highest step of industrialization is technology.
That's what I'm saying.
And the world is moving fast.
Exactly.
And the way you teach somebody in 80s, in 90s, in 20s, it's gone. You can't do it now. Because now, let me give you an example now. The way you carry your child, take it to nursery school, start teaching ABCD. There's only this. Now, you need a simple machine, simple equipment to make that teaching very smooth to go with time. So that is technology. Like I'm so I think So I need to make something clear.
No, excuse me. All of you men, listen to me.
You're not understanding.
All of you should keep quiet. I need all of you to keep quiet. This side and this side, I need you people to keep quiet. You people are behaving like not adults. You are behaving like children here. I need one at a time because we are recording it. One at a time. When someone is talking, even if it did not suit you, listen to that. That's the person's opinion. When it comes to your time, then you post your own ideas. So all of you, we because it's getting to 6 o'clock, like it's 5. So we need to start working with time, and we need people to somebody like John stop interrupting.
I wasn't talking, I was just doing like when I was doing like this, people were rushing me.
So, man, 1 minute to conclude.
Let me just outline.
1 minute.
Let me just outline. I am not disagreeing. You are misunderstanding the conversation.
That he's making a point.
We are already at a point of technological advancement. We cannot take it back.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, in comparison to those countries, they went through a phase before they reached that particular stage. We have found ourselves in a situation where it is already the 21st century, the technological era, and now we are trying to meet up, but we lack the basics. That's what I'm saying. So if we don't have the basics in our hands, you cannot quickly tell. So you need to, at the same time you're trying to meet up with the people ahead of you, go back to the phase where they followed. You understand? So that, because we're talking of Nigeria and opposed to China, you cannot
compare. That's very so, thank you very much.
I can give you thank you very much.
Just 2 minutes.
First, our comparison first. We can't start where China started from anymore. It's too late. We can't go back to the steps it's too late. We need to adopt at the stage that we are.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that, they started this before this. It's too late. What are you out to me? That's one. Two, we cannot, because of our predicament as a country, and follow a pattern. Yes, there are communities with no network. It won't stop us moving forward. We only need to work towards those communities having a network, not to make decisions. Because of those communities, make the decisions that are not globally accepted. Yeah. Technology is on top of the world right now. You and I must agree. For everything, the phone render more than 70 million photographers useless in Nigeria. Phone. So if a photographer is in one shop, learning how to post, it's gone. More than 80% of each Instagram posts are not from photography, are not from regular cameras. They are posts with a lot of megapixels that can do the job. So what we are saying here is because of these people. They shouldn't see it as whether I like it or not, I have it. No, it's a must. Right now. And that's what I'm saying about the center. The concept, the establishment of it is to take care of what we're saying. Young people are supposed to be trooping here morning, afternoon, nights, because you are disadvantaged if you don't know it. Technology also does not stop at internet. Those community, I remember we did a program rounding up where we are paying farmers, but all they do is to just put star 212 star, send the money to where they need. It's still technology. There is no internet, but they are using USSD code. If they don't know it, they are going nowhere. Market money, trader money, farmers wallet, technology. Because you can't even do monitor and evaluation that is very important to United Nations if you don't employ technology. They don't do for manual MIE anymore. So even if you are learning it in a shop, useless. So basically what I'm saying, we have to take it as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'd like to respond, but I just want to know the question: is it that industrialization should come before technology?
I'm asking which one
To be honest, the way it's going is the perfect way, because if industrialization is what kind of gives you the ability to create something. For example, let me give you an example of Uber and creating cars. Cars were manufactured during industrialization. And then everyone thinks of getting something at their own leisure, in their own comfort zone. So that's when Uber came. When Uber came, everyone wanted that type of thing, but no one thought of it until it happened. Like literally, you can just order a cab to come and pick you up where you are. You don't have to you don't have to go out. So that's technology. That's an advantage right there. So the car was manufactured during industrialization, and I think the way we are comparing Nigeria and China, we just said technology and in the world. We didn't really specify Nigeria or so I just feel like the industrialization was going to come before technology, because right now we can literally do anything just by studying it, watching YouTube videos. 3D printers can have all this knitting and everything. You can just follow it and it can be done. So technology is an advantage. So it's like it makes life easier. So the phase that it came from industrialization to technology, I feel like that's the way it's supposed to be.
Also, not to quickly add to answer him so that we don't get misunderstood. I agree with you again completely. That we're already at the point of technology, and that is we need to adapt. But what is easier for us to provide now at this stage that we're in now, for you to take network to that local government, I'm telling you, it is more of a hassle than for you to encourage them to begin an industrialization phase, produce, manufacture, handwork, do it. By the time you are doing that and the technology is now available for you, then you can implement it into that system and it will make it easier. But if you say wait till technological era reaches everybody, you will be short-staffed, because you have to work with what you have. You don't have the technology available to everybody in Nigeria right now, but industrialization is at your reach. You can simply begin to manufacture, produce, start that. By the time the technology is available for you, then you can implement it into your work and it will become easy for you. Do not skip the phase. We cannot automatically just catch up. As we're trying to do that, we're trying to provide this thing, still do the basics so that it will give you a level playing ground. Because as much as we like it, with the population we have and the illiteracy we have, you cannot quickly implement that, bring that technology down to the grassroots. It's impossible. Start somewhere.
Let me say in the absence of technology. Yes.
I want to. Somebody wants to talk now.
I want to throw a question. All of you should wait. I want to throw something now to him. I want to throw a question to you. You work with the youths, right? What is it available for the youths? How, if someone have what is available for the youths? If someone has a very good skills, how does he promote himself? How does he get powered? How do they get access to be able to help? I don't want to say what you know what I'm talking about. So how do you people come in to help the youths? We have a lot of youths here that needs help, that have skills, but they don't know how to promote their
to develop it.
Yes. So how do they get help from you people, and how do they go about it? That's why you're here. So let me.
So in the nation, thank you. Opportunity
for
the in terms of technology and
costs. The challenges, we have to talk about the challenges before we look at the way out. The challenges we're also having among the job people is that what we call skills are skills that cannot serve the purpose at which they are needed for. So we need to move forward by empowering the young people. First, giving them the skills, knowledge, and character. Because the issue we have is not just about the skills among young people. No matter what kind of skills you have, the knowledge, if you lack character, you might not be able to fit into the propulsion setting, into empowering the society, empowering yourself. So the skills is not just enough for young people. So what we are looking for first is to build young people in a way that the kind of skills they have will be useful to the society they belong, not just having the skills to themselves. For the fact that I've learned something does not make me having the skills. These skills come with knowledge, and this knowledge comes with character. So if they are not there, it's not sustainable. First, but the opportunity for the young people, yes, it is open to the world to see. I don't want to speak in terms of the institution of government, but however, what the opportunity is there for is for young people to look at what this government offering. And I want to say that something I'm privy to, which might be very funny. Young people have been requested for them to come up with proposal, feasibility study, and your business plan to see what you want to do. And if you have opportunity to sit with the young people as put to the table, you can tell that if you give this person 20 million, you're just dashing the person money. And this has also led to issues in the country. Many unsuccessful programs of government we have had in the time past, Shopee programs that are empowering young people with resources. And today, you can hardly find 10, 20 people who have success story. You have had win, that has gone. Of course, that has gone in the same line. Like I said, you have had back of industry support, loan for young people. You have had back of agriculture. You have had all sorts of loans in the country, conditional grant scheme, and the rest of them. The issue here first is that if we have to move forward, we need to look at what are the challenges that we're having. Not to throw another one out because you feel that, yes, you have to throw it out. The current administration has the Nigerian Youth Empowerment Fund that is also on. People are planning. And we are saying that if you have people that bring up a proposal to you and you know that this thing cannot work, the attempts of the proposal have shown you that this person doesn't even know what he's saying because you are going to look at it. It's difficult for you to start giving out money for those people. But what does society want to see is to see people having resources. Just be doing it. And we are asking, empowering young persons, entrepreneurs, have also objective. One of the objectives is for you to have a sustainable wealth. Is to also have distribution of wealth, to be able to create jobs, for people, and of course, to make the society itself have economic flow. But in a situation where you invested this money on a single person, capture this money and pocketed it solely or mismanage the funds, there is no opportunity there anymore. That's the aim and objective is dead on arrival. So these are the issues. That's why I said we need to look at the issue before we talk about the opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities, but I must say, the current administration now is looking into a lot of areas in terms of agriculture. And the current issue we're also battling, it is the interest of the young people in agriculture. Nigeria has over 85 million arable lands, have more than 76 million population of young people. But less than 20 million of young people are interested in agriculture in the first place. And about 30%, only about 30% of the arable lands are cultivated. Yeah. So there's a gap. In China, in those countries we are quickly referred to, they have moved forward and then technology comes in again. Agriculture cannot be practiced the way our old fathers are doing it. It's a waste of time. So we have to adopt technology-driven agriculture in a way that young people will see it. How? Yes, I'm saying it. First, is that planting itself. These days, there are planters. Instead of, let people start from plowing, let me start from clearing. Yeah. You cannot tell young people to go now, give them hoes and cutlass. Well, we're trying to do a website for the project. And the person designed the website puts one young person that carry cutlass. As a thing. So even you're not gotten the signal. We are not for a young person operating a farm on drone on the farm. And let them see that it is easier for you to go to farm. So technology comes in here, in plowing, in planting, even in harvesting, in weeding, in spraying of chemicals, and all of this technology already have solution to it. Today, Ukraine can feed half of the world by their resources. They are not running agriculture by manual.
There's a question.
Okay.
How do you make this technological tools available?
Okay, thank you. No, sorry to finish what you were saying. This agriculture, yes. Ukraine has embraced technology-driven agriculture. You can't see people just going to carry hoes and cutlass. It won't happen. And now, back to these, villages that you talk about, where agriculture is a purely rural arrangement in Nigeria. Though we're trying to change that because in the developed country, agriculture is not a rural business. At the back of your house, which we must thank again, Mapa again, the initiative trying to come up for bringing farm just in this compound where young people can learn about agriculture. Now, the basic is that we have to change the perspective first. That's the first thing we are doing, the orientation of the young people. Don't see agriculture as the old man business, retirement job, people in the village resorting to when they don't have white collar jobs. No. And of course, maybe in the next subsequent thing, we'll play a video of a young man in Nigeria who is making annually about $1 million annually from fish farming. A young person, a young man, less than 30 years. He's been doing this, he has something to show. He's a graduate of petrochemical engineer. He's not going to do that. His father was somewhere, but he embraced agriculture. So we have some of these things. So the opportunity here for young people right now, agriculture. And when we say agriculture, we're talking about smart, farming system. Not to just say go to farm, do this, we'll clear the bush, let the young people apply, get your seeds, monitor it by extension, and follow it up, because this is a major way. And I want to say that the last time Nigeria could compare naira to dollar was the time we're exporting agricultural products. We have granite pyramids, we have people. Now we have insecurity challenges. People are being pursued from their farms and a lot of things. So these are things that we are looking at, making it available. It's even why I'm also agitated, because we don't want to make that this is what we're having conversation within the government side. Yeah. We don't try to tell us to do things the same way and expect different results. We can't tell young people now that you don't like farming, you have to go to farm, give them input. No, they won't go. I won't encourage that. They want to see it done in the way it's being done in other places. You can't say, oh, China is producing 20,000 tons of maize. Are they producing it by cutlass and no? The answer is no. They already introduced technology into it. So, and for the communities that have no inside internet, that's where I'm going to come. That technology has a little or not to do with even internet. Now the government is adopting solar pump system where we can have irrigation pump that is solar. You can take it in your briefcase, like a briefcase, take it to your farm, spread it, drop it in the river, and then wait for this. You don't need electricity, you make those things. So if we don't think of solving those problems without those internet, without those facilities, we will keep waiting for them to come and we will not embrace what we are doing. So now, opportunity for you, I may be in this scope in that regard, but mentioning that there's opportunity for young people, entrepreneurs. You must know what you are doing. Nobody is ready to give money for somebody who does not have a feasibility study of his business plan. Just because government is giving money, you write proposal. You are even in a hurry to write the proposal. You see young people just go to AI, just copy and copy it, forget to even and send it as a proposal. Yesterday, I'm a critical person for young persons. I wish I would not ask this question, because I am not as optimistic as many people are optimistic about youth. There is no right without responsibility. Yeah. Less than 3% of Nigerians should understand the responsibility as vested on them by the constitution of the country. But more than 80% of them understand the responsibility of the politicians. Yeah. And then we talk about that one. And we're not talking about it now. So, not to digress, there will be opportunity for conversation in that regard. There are opportunity for young people, but for ourselves, we must be conscious of our knowledge, our skills, and our character.
And so we have passion on. What we have passion on.
So this is selected right now. Young people are asked questions. In your answering your question, you see, well, we have to find solutions we are going. Some people have to leave Abuja back to Yobe, Kwara, Osun, Oyo to go back there because that's where they belong. You don't stay in the federal capital territory. You cannot tell me exactly what you are doing. Whereas your family land is wasted in your village, nobody's manning it, nobody's using it. You can have the opportunity to farm, you're not going there because you want to be seen Lamborghini and Land Cruiser passing on the way. No, you're not making money. So for all of us, we must have responsibility that what am I doing? Who am I? What am I doing? And what is my result? And from there, we can approach government in a way. It's not that when we approach, the Navy made a revelation that, I'm not saying it, more than 90% of applicants for Navy fail drug test. So if it is a mandate that we must employ people in the Navy is afraid that one day there will be nobody to employ. If 90% are failing drug test, and there is an issue, because we don't want to hand over arms and ammunition into hand of confused young people who will just go there and start killing anyhow. So, because of my time. So, the same thing happened to the police.
She said that if someone is good, let me use this word now. If someone is good, we use should. Yes. How can you catapult into the world? Okay. Okay, that's the question asked. Okay, so if you are good in making shoes, thank you. If you are good in making shoes, just like you mentioned, if you are the one that knows you are good in making shoes, you need to prove to us that you are truly good in making shoes. And let us see the sample of shoes you are doing. Because it is not enough to make just any shoe and say, oh, no, I'm good. Some skills need to be refined. The federal government have more than 19 youth development centers under the Federal Ministry of Youth, and 42 youth development centers under the National Directorate of Employment. All of this, no young person wants to stay there. They are not interested in distributing money. So fine-tuning skills matters. Because anybody, one that is sitting here, we invest in any young person, not government now. If you can prove to her that your shoe is better than that ordinary shoe. So I'm not just talking about talkless of government at the local government level, at the state government level. Some of us are sad when we see what we call skill empowerment, doling out millions of naira for young people. At the end of the day, this young people will not come back to government to show any result they have collected. We have seen empowerment where you see somebody with the shoe. You give them machine to go and sell the shoe. And they will say, as you are going, they go and sell it. So this is not longer our skills. Look at it. Knowledge. Okay, so more has already been doing that. But the concern we are having at the level of monitoring and evaluation is to see that where are the 10 people? Because sorry, I'm a Christian, they put the Bible that in Jesus will ask people, said some people who came to his okay, where are the 10 people we gave money the last time? We don't see them to come back. You are the only one that is coming back to show appreciation or to show that you are working. So these are also happening. So we as youth, we must have our own conversation where we give government aside and talk to ourselves. It is not just about getting funds. More than 80 million people has been empowered in Nigeria. Young people, more than 80 million in the last 15 years. 80 million has collected one money or the other. NYC.
But they are not trained.
But now we are coming back to that. I love that when they are not trained. Now, what we call training?
You don't train, you don't give money to somebody you have not trained.
That is where we're coming from.
Yes.
The training. I'm sure some of us have skill like this. For myself, I have the skill like this you just enter. And it's more or less running down because you have to practically beg somebody to come. They are not ready for that because there's no discipline.
I agree with you.
You will tell them that you are going to give them breakfast. They will finish that breakfast and go away. So the issue now, it is not about what the government, about the training now. Who is training is another thing. And some of us belong to this system where we have civil servants and directors who want to be in charge of who is going to train. No matter how brilliant this young man is, you can't bring him to a ministry to come and train because he's brilliant. They will tell you, no. We have AD, we have DD, we have staffs are already doing that. They have been here the last 10 years.
Yes.
So they are the one that have to do that. That demolishing that sector alone is a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I'm telling people that Nigeria had 4 telecommunication companies. The only one that failed to survive was the one run by government. And I will have of us 002 is Airtel, is Econet as at that time. 003 is MTN. 004 is Airtel. That is Intel then, the government. And 5 is Glo. All of them survive except Intel. It's dead, the natural death. These are critical issues we must talk. So it's not about training now. Well, now the agriculture we're introducing, young people will be monitored, not just a trade, you'll be trained in the farms. And there will be extension worker that will be visiting you every day to monitor what you're doing. You discover that many of them will run away, they can't do it because they don't want anybody to guide them.
Well, how do you motivate them to stay?
There's going to be stipend, pay for them a salary every month. All right. For young people to be.
If I can ask to me, you said about training. I'm trained in training, like Smeden. Yeah, Smeden.
Yes.
During the DG, Mrs. Adeleja, we gathered some youth in my locality. She trained them. After that one, there is a monitoring affairs, yes, and they give them money, which up till today, the Smeden did not go back, which if they they continue their training, especially the women. We didn't do for the men, it's for the women. And the local government chairman, the state, they are all involved in this, which all eyes are on this particular set of people. And they know, yeah.
So you think what happened? Yeah. So it's the issue that all of us know, but we don't like to talk about is corruption.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere is failing the system. Somebody somewhere is supposed to monitor. The consultant has collected money and then disappeared.
Yeah.
A lot of people. And I like that we are not totally alien to governance. And there are some things we are observing. There are people that have been governors. And when they left, you can feel the fact that these people are, so this person was better. And those are the issues. Because some people plan
We're going to change the battery in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. So people plan entirely what they want to do. Some don't plan. So it boils around all of us. And that's why we're taking young people. In as much as we're talking, we are not also isolated from the caca war and the corruption in the system. The young people that we are trying to train, one of the things you must look at is their personal attitude against corruption. Somebody to say, don't come to class, don't worry. Once you are receiving your alert. I was a coordinator of the State for Empower project. And we discovered that school that we posted 35 people, both the principal and the Empower staff has already had an agreement that once they pay you 30,000, you give the principal 15,000, don't come to class. So in that issue, the students are aware. So when you come to class, when you ask, even the students are how many classes you have, they already give them. We have 35 Empower teacher, 20 Empower, and they all come and say, yes. This is what they're already telling them to say. These are not the reality of ground. So we need to look at it holistically and put it one by one. The youth, the system, the skills, the knowledge, the character, the corruption, all of them must be put into consideration.
Just to help people conclude.
Thank you.
I've learned a lot from what you have said. And it's a lot of opportunities you've said now. I move from this. Just to conclude before we change the right thing. You have the knowledge. As much as there are bad people amongst them, you have to put this information out. You understand? Because the more people know, obviously you cannot filter it completely.
I agree.
But then you will have people that will make good use of the information if it is properly provided. That is one. A lot of people here do not have any idea beforehand of the information you're giving now. Secondly, you have to improve the screening process, like you said. You do not start the process and you do not follow up with it. You might have the idea, you start it up, there are some few that will benefit from it, but a large amount of number of people it will fail because there's no process of a follow-up. So as much as we have these ideas, we need to make sure it is getting to the people that need to know. That is to start with. Second, you change it. The follow-up process, you make it better. And also, lastly, just before the last session we had with Yomi, apart from these normal skills, like you said, there are other skills, for example, football, other skills that people possess. So we need to know. So I don't know if you have the answers for me, but are there provisions for people that acquire these skills? Where do they go to implement these skills? Because somebody might have interest in farming, while another child is interested in just playing football. So where do we go? Where are the provisions?
I like it. Firstly, you mentioned about the information out there. Unfortunately, everybody has your desk. If your desk is only to design and leave it. If your desk is to help and leave it, it's your desk to talk about, unfortunately. But that is correct. If there's anything, most governments don't do right, is how to put information out there in the languages people understand, all of that. So I agree. On the other part of the skills that when people have skills, unfortunately, this happened because it's a system we're running that who will know somebody. Okay, we don't know somebody. We're not going to NFL become somebody. Once you are, no matter how good you
I
are.
disagree with that. Son of nobody will not become somebody because sometimes the son of nobody become more body.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's only the percentage is very low.
Yeah.
And I'm giving a typical example. You have young people who want to go to NFL, want to join Super Eagle, who want to join Flying Eagle. Very good. It has happened to me. I can mention names. We have done all the screening. These guys are good. Put them forward there. He said, no, the list is full. Because so person sent his own list, so person sent so these guys are not even trying. So you just go back in. All right? And that is why we come back in. I will not always refer to map of foundation because if not for a foundation like this, maybe some people have nowhere to go. Because once you can't meet up with the way big men. When I was having a conversation with Madam and she said, no, I'm looking for young people Not necessarily because somebody recommended them. Those ordinary ones who has nowhere to go, let's put them on. And that's what can solve it, unfortunately. Because the larger part of those ones, mother does not football team, academic, she will have one tomorrow. So those who are having football team will have nowhere to accommodate, for example. So you have to take them to where they are needed. But let me tell you, we are all young people, and we should not just be about conversation about the issue. We should all start thinking about solutions. I want to see young people tweeting online, analyzing issues the way they are, not because you're APC or PTP or NDP or whatever. Talk about it the way it is, cite examples, and this thing will start attracting attention of the world. There are donor agencies who all they are doing is funding critical opinions of governments, and they pick them online. I'm sorry, I'm just going to round on. There are young people in Nigeria that are billionaires. I'm not saying million, I say billions. You don't know where they make their money just because they are critics of government, and they are doing this right. Donor agencies are paying them in dollars, so it's an employment. So if you see any of those, some of us can take it off. Don't abuse it. Don't say, look at the earth like this. They will not attend to you. But when they say their opinion, I'm just giving you another employment, which is upset. You understand? So, and it's not even it's not even about the just creating the trend in social media. Yeah. In your mind, when you talk about it.
Okay,